know it's absurd. Alphabet soup. And like, I was thinking, what was the meeting that came up with alphabet soup? One guy was just like, how are we gonna make our soup better? And another guy's like, I think it should be more educational, There's no other alphabet themed foods, I feel like. It's just soup. It's good. I think it's an American thing though, and that's good. Because like, we do very well in international competition, because China wouldn't beat us, Canada would just be way too big, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, guys. I'm half Korean, I'm half Jewish. When I was 12, I went to Korea for the first time because I was really about exploring Korean culture and whatnot. I wanted to get in touch with that side of myself. And so my parents, when we were there, took me to a Korean bathhouse. If you're not familiar, it's basically a room with a bunch of baths. Everyone's naked. So I was pretty scared because I was 12. And like, also it was mostly just like old people who were naked. I guess community bathing is not really a youth activity, but it was a lot of saggy balls. It was shocking. What was even more shocking is like I found out, my mom told me, she was like, in Korean culture, when you're dating someone for a while, you take your girlfriend or your boyfriend's parents to the Korean bathhouse, So Koreans must think, like Americans, are wimps, It's like a big step for us, it's dinner. Dinner with my girlfriend's parents, it's gonna be so nerve-wracking. Meanwhile, in Korea, they're like, I gotta bathe naked with my girlfriend's parents. Hope he finds everything suitable. Hope he finds that okay. That would be nerve-wracking. I go, I'd dress it up. I feel like I don't really know how to move my body anymore. I just feel very awkward all the time. I feel like when I was a kid, I was like, doo, doo, doo. Now I feel like I have to orient myself before I reach someone. I'm like, this is my left hand, this is my right hand. This sensation goes with this body part. It's just a lot of mental energy. I'm just very uncomfortable a lot of the time. Last year, guys, my penis was just not feeling it. It wasn't feeling it. So I went to the urologist, which was embarrassing. Because there were also just old people there. There's a lot of old people places where I'm having to show my penis. I looked up my urologist beforehand, and she was an attractive woman, and I was like, I'm gonna have to show her my penis. What am I gonna do? Like a boner, So I was brainstorming responses. I was writing stuff down in my notebook, and I settled on when that happens, I'll just be like, look at that, And I thought maybe we'd have a laugh about it together, But get this, I go, and I don't even get a boner. And I'm just disappointed and sad, And she's like, you're good to go. I'm like, well, maybe we can hold on 2 more seconds. I've got a great joke coming. What was I gonna do next? I'm gonna check. I'm sorry, guys. Oh yeah. So I'm also Jewish, And I went to temple growing up as a kid. And they always were like, we're gonna be in the Torah, we're gonna refer to the Torah. And I really thought they meant the Torah. I was like, we have it? Oh my God. That would be in Israel, not northern New Jersey. I'm still learning about the world. I'm a youngin'. Porn. Guys, I came across the first porn video I ever watched a couple weeks ago. It was weird, I didn't know how to respond because I was a little bit emotional. Is that am I gonna jerk off to it, or is that just gonna desecrate a childhood memory? And so I was like, no, not gonna jerk off to it. It reminded me of the first time I went on Pornhub, and besides that video, I also remember the ads were very memorable. It was fuck a black chick 0.2 miles away from me, fuck an Asian chick 0.4 miles away from me, fuck a Hispanic chick 0.7 miles away from me. And I was like in 6th grade, so I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, my town's more diverse than I thought. We have stepped up our game. Yeah, guys, I have OCD, and like a common characteristic of OCD is like people get worried they possess these traits that their behavior doesn't actually reflect, right? So I've been worried that like I'm a murderer, a pedophile. At one point, I was worried I was racist, and I was telling my therapist about it, and he was trying to reassure me, he was just like, racists, Justin, are confident. Yeah, that tracks. I feel better already. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Like my OCD was like not very good. During the winter and fall time. So I was trying to get a psychiatrist. And that's weird, because like you have like a first meeting and you're just supposed to tell them about yourself, it's like, just all condensed. And I don't sound very good as a person, I'm starting to realize. The person first asked me what I was majoring in. And I was like, film and philosophy, so that's not a good start. And then she was like, well, do you know what you want to do with that after college? I was like, no, not really. She kept pushing me on it. She was like, there's nothing you want to do at all? And I was like, I guess I sort of want to be a comedian. And then she started writing something down. SpaghettiOs. And it didn't even sound like she was going to ask this originally. And then she goes with, like, what drugs are you using? But it sounded like it was just like, well, film philosophy, comedian. Tell me what drugs you're doing, And then she asked, and I was like, I smoke weed. And then I was like, man, that is just like a horrible series of questions. Insufferable. Yeah, well, I guess that's why I had a psychiatrist. And later in our conversation, she was like, have you had any homicidal thoughts in the past 2 weeks? And I said no. And she goes, no one's ever said yes to that. I'm sorry. So I murdered her. I was like, that's not homicidal thoughts, No, it was weird. It was weird that she said in the past 2 weeks. Because it was almost like she was like a murder detective on a case that happened 2 weeks ago. And she exhausted all her leads. She was like, only one thing to do but become a therapist and interview unstable individuals in the area. But I don't think she got to the bottom of it. Because I murdered her. Yeah. Guys, I played baseball in high school. And my coach was this silly, kind of angry guy. One time, I missed the ground ball, and he said, Rubenstein, that ball was moving slower than dog shit. And I said, but coach, put mac and cheese in your pillowcase. I quit. And then I was known as the mac and cheese maniac around school. He was like, you mess with Justin, he'll put mac and cheese in your pillowcase. You lay down, it's gonna go, oh, swish, swish, swish. Buy the mac and cheese from the grocery stores before I get to them. That's all I have to say. I'll tell you one more thing. Restaurants are pretty nice. And at restaurants, a lot of times there's the waiters, and a lot of times wearing like a uniform and like a name tag. But then sometimes there's other people who are just like wearing semi-formal clothes and go around tables and they're like, how's everything going? And everyone's like, oh, this must be the manager. But I feel like they need to give us more proof than what they're showing, Like, I think I'm just gonna start wearing like semi-formal clothes going to restaurants. So the tables be like, how are things? And they'll be like, it's good. And I'll be like, do you think I should eat here? And they'll be like, I thought you were the manager. I'll be like, well, you were wrong. So, take that. Thanks, guys.